If humans are carnivores, then why don't humans like the way animal flesh tastes? That shit is crazy. Humans say they're carnivores. They even say they're omnivores. They don't even like the way the shit tastes. Like, that don't make sense to me. You know, because when I look at carnivores, when I look at omnivores, they love the way raw flesh tastes. And they love the way the blood tastes. They love eating all the internal organs. They eat everything. Why are you not doing that, Mr. Mrs. Carnivore? We're like, why aren't you doing that? Like, why do you have to use fire and burn the shit out of the flesh before you eat it? I don't see no other carnivores or omnivores doing that dumb shit. We not supposed to use fire to eat at all. The only reason people use fire to eat is when they're eating some shit that they're not supposed to eat. And they can't eat it in its natural state, so they have to denature it. It's inedible in its natural state, so they have to denature it to make it edible. I'm just saying, like, if humans are carnivores, omnivores, why do we change the way the flesh tastes before we eat it? Like, why don't we just eat the raw, natural flesh? Humans be dumping all kind of seasoning and flavorings and shit on this flesh because they hate the way it tastes. What other carnivore or omnivore is doing that? You say you love meat, but you change the way it tastes before you eat it. You change it so much that it don't even taste like meat anymore. Why is that? Because I don't see any carnivores or omnivores doing that. It's just humans. And why aren't you like consuming the blood? So tons of nutrients are in the blood. And if you watch a carnivore or omnivore eat, like, their face is gonna be bloody because they just plant their face in that carcass, and the carcass is bloody and fleshly, and they're just eating it all and slurping up the blood. Why you ain't doing that? I mean, you can buy, I mean, there's stores that's selling the fucking blood of these animals now. So, you know, if you want to have a more realistic meal, you can buy the blood. Like, why does consuming the blood gross humans out? It's normal carnivore and omnivore behavior to consume the blood. Like, matter of fact, if you're a carnivore and omnivore, why aren't you just buying the whole animal? Why are you buying the animal cut up and processed and frozen? Why not just buy the whole fucking animal? You could buy a chicken. And when you're ready to eat, when you're ready for some chicken, you could just grab the chicken and just sink your teeth into it. That's what carnivores and omnivores do. Why aren't you doing that, Mr. Mrs. Carnivore or Omnivore? I fed my son's dog raw chicken, like the whole thing, neck, head, feet, everything still attached. Beak still on it, the eyes still, like everything. First thing she did was ate the head. Why aren't y'all doing that? Like, why not buy the whole animal? You're not getting the nutrients from the blood. You're not getting the nutrients from the bone. And speaking of the bone, why aren't you eating the bones? Because carnivores and omnivores eat the bones. Why aren't you eating the bones? And what happened to your teeth, Mr. Mrs. Carnivore or Omnivore? We've evolved. Well, look at these teeth. This is what we call a canine. Have you seen the canine of a carnivore or omnivore? It's nothing like this. Like, are y'all serious when you say humans have canines? Like, look at this little motherfucker. That's why you have to use knives, because you're not equipped to eat the animal like carnivores and omnivores do. Like, why not? And why is your digestive system so motherfucking long, Mr. Mrs. Carnivore and Omnivore? Like, carnivores don't have fucking digestive systems that motherfucking long. And if I showed you a piece of raw, bloody flesh right now, why would that gross you out instead of make you hungry? I mean, I'm showing you the insides, the guts, show you the intestines, the liver, the stomach, fucking kidneys, like showing you all that bloody flesh on the inside. It would gross you out. If I put that shit on a plate in front of you, you'd be like, I ain't eating that shit. Why? Like, that's a fucking carnivore or omnivore delicacy, like served on a plate. Like, don't get no better than that. Why would that gross you out? You would throw that shit in the trash. Why are toddlers playing with their food? You know what I mean? Like, if you said little kitten, little cat, you know, little puppy, little rabbit or something in front of a toddler, they're going to play with it. Why aren't they eating it? Maybe you should try when they're hungry. Maybe is that what it is? Because they're not hungry. So let your toddler, your young child, your young infant, whatever, let them get hungry. And then place a little kitten in front of him or her. Place a little rabbit, a little puppy in front of them. And see if they try to eat it. I mean, because they're hungry. And if we're carnivores and omnivores, then that little puppy, that little kitten, that little rabbit is food. And then you maybe take you a banana, cut it up in little nice slices, or maybe mash it up, put it in a bowl or something, and place that in front of the toddler. Just see which one they eat. I mean, y'all don't have no argument at all. Humans thinking they're carnivores or omnivores, one, is just stupid as fuck. Two, it's a mental illness. If you really look in the mirror and you really look at a carnivore and omnivore, and then you conclude, I'm like them. When you live a lifestyle nothing like them, you don't even eat like them. And they don't even eat like you. If they ate like you, they would be sick too. I would say, hey, carnivore, omnivore, can you respond to any of this? But you can't. There is literally nothing that you can say to counter anything I just said. For those of you who are actually dumb enough to try to say something, only thing you're going to say is, well, your fruits got pesticides. Y'all know how stupid y'all sound when y'all say that? Your fruits got pesticides. Them fruits ain't even real. You're not going to address anything I said because you can't. Flesh eaters are undoubtedly what's wrong with this world today. 100%. They are the problem.